Well, excited for the next week. Definitely disappointed from last week's performance, but a lot of things we can learn from after reviewing the film, talking with the coaches. We feel really good about our team. The guys gave great effort. It's a tough place to play in that environment, but a lot of things from us to learn from and I see it as a missed opportunity. I wish we would have played better, but it's important for us to learn and improve from that last game to this next week coming up against Wyoming. Looking forward to the matchup with Wyoming. Really well coached team. I've known Coach Bull for a long time and have interactions with him. We played against him in the first bowl game when they had Josh Allen, and just really in my interactions with him, tons of respect for him and how he does his job. And his team will be ready. They're tough. They're 3-1, and they've had some on film. They're really big and aggressive and tough, and I think it'll be a good matchup for us. And especially from what happened over this last weekend, I think it's a good way for us to get to answer this challenge and be ready. What we need all the time this week to prep for them, and we're just looking forward to the game. So, take any questions you guys have.
Jared, go ahead.
It's Monday, Kalani, so I don't expect that you know everything, but what's the health status of your team right now?
Looking like, let me see, I'm going off the guys that are out. I think Earl and Batty missed on defense. We're hopeful to get them back. I think, I don't know what the right wording would be, but probable would be the one. And then feel good about possibly getting Gunner and Puka back too. So we'll see. I felt this way a couple weeks ago too, so I have no idea anymore. We're just gonna prepare for the worst and hope for the best, But I think speaking from today, I think Batty's closer than everyone. We'll find out more today. We have practice today, and we'll get more evaluation and have probably more info after tonight or tomorrow.
As you looked at the film as well, Kalani, why is the run game having such a tough time getting going?
On the offensive side, yeah, it's looking at it, it's probably a bunch of things that factor into it, and lack of technique, missed assignments, all that stuff factor into it. But the guys are giving us the effort. We just need to play more discipline, and that's in all three phases. I don't think we're disciplined enough as a team. I need to do a better job of making sure our guys are playing correctly and that we show up better. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. It's a tough place to play. There's a reason why they have that win streak, and going into it, we had to bring our effort and our energy, and but that had to be complemented with playing assignment sound football. And I thought we made a lot of mistakes as a team that didn't even give us a chance really. But looking forward to learning from it and getting better. So these. I mentioned before about being humble and being hungry. Well, now it's a good point where we're in the situation now where we're humbled. Now, how much can we learn from this, and how much can we get things back on track?
John and then Kevin.
Lonnie, is Wyoming's run game the biggest challenge they present from their offense, or do you see other things where they're going to be kind of complicated to defend?
Yeah, I think that if you look at their game, they build a lot of the stuff off of their run game, and they're physical, so they use a lot of multiple sets. I always like teams that have a fullback, and have tight ends, big physical tight ends, but they have a really strong O-line. Quarterback, we've seen him run. He's fast. He's got some athleticism, and he even shows it on as a threat to run. And then they have really good skill positions, So you're looking at they can pretty much do whatever they want. They've been able to get into their personnel groups and spread you out and go in empty. They can go in empty if they need to, but I think they have an identity of trying to establish the run game and then building off of that. But I think that's also. I don't know if that's a correct statement, because they have tons of talent. They can spread you out, and they're having success for a reason. And I think just the variety of things that they can do as an offense poses problems for defenses, as it's shown. They got some really good wins and against some really good teams. So yeah, we have them here at home. We're excited about that, but we need to be a lot better than we were last week and a lot better than we were from week 1 and week 2. So we need to make that huge jump of improvement going to this next game.
Kalani, when you evaluated everything at the end of this weekend, did you feel like there was any hangover from the first 3 weeks of just going to both coasts and playing Baylor? Do you think that played a factor in it at all, just the schedule?
I'm not looking for excuses, Kevin. I mean, we can play better, and my job is to get our guys to play better. We lack discipline in a lot of ways. We missed quite a bit of fundamentals that I like to brag about that we're good at, and it just seems very uncharacteristic of our team to not play their style of football and not to be. I mean, the guys, I'll be honest, they played tough and they were physical and the effort was amazing, but that's not enough. We need to play with better discipline. We need to execute our assignments better, and all that falls back on me as a coach. And so we need to find ways to get better as a team, and we did not do that last week. But the schedule is how it is. We've been able to prep for it. We've worked with our training room and our sports scientists and our strength room to get our guys in as optimal shape as we can. I don't think the guys aren't out of shape. They look great in all the games that we've played in. I don't even feel like they wore down. This last game was a tough schedule. I mean, tough environment to go into. There's a reason why I don't think anyone's won since 2018 there. And that's a tough venue. But we didn't help ourselves by not taking care of the little things. And the good thing is the problem is that we wish we'd have done better, and I wish I'd have had the guys better prepared. The good thing is that we can learn from it. They're very fixable. So I'm really excited to get back to it today and finding ways to get better as a team. So that's the fixable things. It's there. We can address them, and so hopefully we get that done starting today.
Jay and then Jake.
Hi, Kalani. A two-part question. One, what do you remember from your playing days playing against Wyoming, just the amount of effort and intensity that they bring? And then also, do your players recognize or realize how important this game is to Wyoming, just from a program and from a state of Wyoming standpoint?
Yeah, I think our guys understand that. Going on the second question first, our guys know that we're going to get their best shot, and that. So this is just like a lot of the other teams that we play against, how important it is to them. And I don't know if the guys really look into the history of it all, but it's pretty evident, Jay, when you see it on film. These guys play tough football, well coached. Craig Bull's a great coach, and he's going to get these guys playing at a high level. You can see it on film, how strong they are. And how physical they are. So back to my playing days, that's kind of the standard you always have to deal with when you play Wyoming. They're strong, tough kids, and they come in here with great effort, and they play with high energy. And so when I see it, and that's the expectation from their fans, and I see it on film, it's going to be a tough game, man. I'm looking forward to it, though. I feel like we're in a point now, going through some adversity, we can really, really make some changes, really make some improvement. I'm excited about that. So whenever you're kind of, being questioned a little bit as a team, as a program, you have one choice. So I've asked these guys to be humble and be hungry. Now you got no choice but to be humble and to learn. And now you got no choice but to get hungry and get after this next game. I wish the game was tomorrow, but we'll take advantage of the time, get ready for it. But we're expecting, a great shot from Wyoming. Their coaching staff is too good not to have them ready.
Kalani, when it comes to your run fits on defense, it seemed like in that game against, Ben Bywater said on radio this morning that he felt like the three-man alignment didn't give you guys the right, alignment he felt like early on in the game, and then at halftime the adjustments didn't work. Was that your assessment?
No, he's wrong. I mean, make tackles is the key. I would be concerned if we didn't have guys there to hit players, but there's the scheme is one thing. It's the fundamentals and tackling that cost us a lot. So I'd be concerned if there's guys that are wide open and not in certain places when there's coverage in the pass game, and then in the run game, I'd be really concerned if we didn't have bodies to make tackles. And I think Oregon made some plays and broke tackles, and we weren't in the best place to make tackles. So I don't know if it's you can blame it on the front or whatever, but you know, we'll blame it on everybody else. We just got to figure it out. All 11 guys didn't do good enough to make plays against a very athletic and speedy team from Oregon.
Mitch, and then Kevin.
Yeah, Kalani, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. After your film study and conversations with the staff, what were some areas that maybe gave you some confidence with your group coming out of that game in Eugene?
Yeah, we're working on the effort. The effort was great. Our guys played hard. They didn't lack physicality. They just didn't execute a lot of the physical things the right way. Getting off blocks, and making tackles. And that's my fault. I got to get our guys better. We got to get better at getting off blocks and making tackles. And then on the offensive side, we got to stick on blocks and finish plays and finish drives. I don't think we did that well enough. And I don't think defensively, we didn't play complementary football, and our special teams were not even a factor. So when that happens and you go into an environment like Oregon and in Austin Stadium, that's not gonna work too well for you. So we were scrambling, got ourselves in a hole, and just weren't ready for what they had. But a lot of credit goes to Oregon. Their team was ready, and they had a great scheme, and we couldn't stop them.
Kalani, Jake Oldroy said that he talked to you last week after the Baylor game. I'm curious if you've had a conversation with him early this week and kind of how you're feeling about the kicking situation right now.
Yeah, we need the kicking game to be a strength. They've done it before, so there's not much to it other than just be accountable, and that's from everybody. Covering, we had mistakes on special teams, we had penalties. It's like lack of discipline is a problem, and that's the entire team. We need to figure it out. We had some really bad penalties at bad times, so we got to keep working on the fundamentals. The fundamentals of the game is what hurt us the most in that game. It wasn't a lack of effort or energy or scheme. It was just not doing the little things, the fundamentals of the game right.
Jay, and then Jake.
Kalani, some people have pointed out that your team has lost its last 4 day games and won a bunch of night games in a row. Is there anything to that at all?
I hadn't even thought about that, Jay, but
Okay.
what time is this game this weekend?
8:15.
Awesome. So maybe we make a deal that we only play under artificial lights from now on. I don't know. But there's some thought to it. If that's this is the first time I heard of it, Jay. So yeah, maybe we have to redo things when it comes to day games. That has to be something has to be talked about. It would go that way. So we practice in the day. I don't know what. It's a good thought, though. I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
Maybe it's just a coincidence. I was just curious.
There are no coincidences, so I appreciate you bringing that up, and I'll have to look into that. How many more day games do we have? All right, we get this strategy going. You guys keep giving me more insight that you have. I appreciate it all. Feedback is really good.
Maybe these be post-lunch type games, Kalani. I know you practice in the afternoons, but that may be one thing. I wanted to ask you also, Wyoming's a team last year, the transfer portal, for lack of a better term, decimated. They lost quarterbacks, star receivers, defensive linemen, transferring to other programs. You've had a relatively small number of guys actually leave your program. What do you do to keep guys engaged and keep them feeling like they're part of this team, even if they're not seeing the field as much as they might like?
I think everybody has a role, and I want guys that want to be here. And so, what can they do for the program? And in return, the program will do great things for them. But I think we have a great team culture, and the players are the big key of allowing that to thrive. They keep loving each other, and it's hard to have people leave for money when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, and even playing time, I think we have a good number of young men that are on our team that are young, that haven't seen the field yet, and they will in the future, but it's the investment that they're putting into it and the belief that they will have an opportunity to play. And when their time comes, they'll play, and then hopefully have an opportunity to get to the next level. That's the key. I think it's if you just put in your investment time here, it'll all work out.
Mitch, go ahead.
Kalani, he wasn't brought up when Jared asked the question about personnel. Caleb Hayes, what's the timetable on him?
Well, if you asked him, he was ready to go. He just needed a breather. But we're gonna work with our trainers, and we'll figure it out. But whenever's right, last thing I want is for him to come back in when he's not ready, and make things worse for him. He has a bright future in this game, and so we'll do it. We'll keep him safe, even from himself.
If he's unavailable, does that elevate potentially some of the young freshmen to be maybe in that top 4 grouping at corner? What's maybe the depth like in one now?
Well, looking at, I think you still have Gabe, and you have D'Lo, and then you have Jacob, and then I think maybe Maury moves up, and then you still have all the freshmen. I think Chica's in the mix, but I think what happens is, and then you have Jacob Bourne that's still there. So there's still a good number of guys that are in that group. You're probably right. If it's a long-term thing or longer than just this week, then we'll probably elevate one of the young freshmen in there. But that's probably how it'll go. But we'll have to see how Caleb does this week.
We'll take last question from Jake.
Yeah, Kalani, you referenced him a little bit earlier on, but you faced Andrew Peasley before, the starting quarterback for Wyoming. How has he changed now in his time at Wyoming versus what you've seen previously?
Well, you could tell he has experience playing. He's still fast and athletic, man. I think for what they're doing with their system, he seems to understand where to go with the ball. And then they do a lot of misdirection. They have the ability to play power football, and then they also can do a lot of things, various things in the run game with their RPOs, and then also with fly sweeps, stuff like that. And I think he's playing at a really high level right now. He's making good decisions, and he just looks like a guy that has great composure. And I think that that's why they got him, so he can come in there and run their offense and make minimal mistakes. I don't think he really hurts you, and so we need to find ways as far as running the system. I think that he's doing exactly what Coach Bull wants him to do, and so we need to find ways to disrupt that game and disrupt their offense. But tough to do, because they can do a lot of different things, and he's a key part of that, all of that happening.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach.
Thanks, guys.